what happened was that Benjamin Netanyahu decides to deliver majoric low blow to our friends in the Muslim Brotherhood community and all the other communities that supports them. It was the most genius call that Benjamin Netanyahu had, I think, in his 12 years. It was the best idea he had. You need to understand a couple of things. Somaliland is not infected yet, not by the Russians, not by the CCCP, not by the French, not by, they're a baby country from 1991, supported by the Americans, not on paper, because on paper they're not supposed to be supporting them. But guess what? In the revolution, what was found is Uzis, Galils, and M16s. So I hardly believe that somebody else supported them. I think that Israel and America supported them, but they did it under the table. We are not the first one to support them. We are the first one to say it out loud. The UAE is doing business with them, and also I forgot who exactly, but some other countries also do business with them. We are just the only one who says, okay, now we recognize them. Why is that such a bombshell? Number one, obvious reasons. It close to Yemen, all of the fantasy of getting an Israeli Cuba missile bases that we can operate from is all of a sudden becoming real. Maybe, we don't know. The ambassador of Somaliland was interviewed today to an Israeli outlet, a media outlet called Reshet Bet, and he said that they are not talking about receiving Gazans. It's not on the table. They will not. They will refuse receiving Gazans. They don't want to do it. That's what he said.
Of course.
So, yeah,
Somebody asked him this question, or he just said it from himself? Because nobody think I never.
I read it, so I didn't pay attention if somebody
It's
asked him the
weird that
question.
he's saying it. Like
I,
this is.
I read it, so I'm not sure. I didn't listen to it, so I'm not sure. But he put it on the table, like he said, "Hey guys, like it's not about the Gaza war. We have other things to collaborate on. It's not about that." That's basically what he said. Still, even it's a major bombshell. Why? Because now basically we're sending a direct threat to Erdogan and to the Muslim Brotherhood, telling him, "You think that you got your foothold in Syria? You just wait, little boy, because we can say that Somaliland is a country today, and we can say that Jabal Adruz is a country tomorrow. And few more days after that, we can decide that Baluchistan should receive their." I'm just saying. I'm
Hey.
not. I'm just
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay. All right.
I'm. I'm checking if you're listening.
Okay.
We can go and we can cause chaos. We can decide that
Yeah.
Jabal Druz is a country now, and we can decide that other minorities, Iraqi Kurds, are now entitled of Iraqi. I didn't say Irani. And so, basically, it's a direct threat. It's us saying we can also, if you want to acknowledge Palestine, we can acknowledge other places too. And so, relax. And obviously, it helps us with Yemen and the Houthis. Obviously, it helps with influence in Africa that is becoming jihadists, and you want to find the more democratic forces and be friends with. It's a genius go. It's a genius plan.
I think that the
The
proximity to Ethiopia and the proximity to the Houthim, that I guess we needed some place like this, and we can also stick it to them philosophically and also threaten them strategically to the long run. So I don't know what
And
what
there's
we
any
lose
other
it.
country that recognizes Somaliland as a country, or
We're
Israel is
the
the
Right.
first
first?
one to do
No.
it in public, like as a statement.
No,
The
no.
So,
statement was the thing. It's like oh, you stated that you
so
want Palestine to
A
be.
Muslim country had Israel as its first country to recognize it.
A
Yes.
Muslim country with Sharia in the law.
They want to separate, but also they had the flags. I saw them taking pictures with the flags. I thought it's AI. I'm like, where did they produce this All these
Somaliland
flags of
is not just
Israel.
like average Muslim, it's like Muslim, it's like Islamic Muslim. And they
Not
now in their history
90%, no 91, 100% Muslim, Sunni.
100% Sharia supporting Islamic country had Israel as the first country that
They
officially
were wearing
recognized.
the Israeli flag on them.
They were
What
there.
Deborah,
the hell?
what do you have to say about it, Deborah?
It's a wild
Yeah,
card.
I wanted
Yes.
to ask, so why did Somaliland separate initially? I didn't realize that they were so Sharia still. I thought maybe they were separating because of that. And it made more sense to me that Israel would do this. So they are like straight up Sharia? I
No.
didn't know that.
Somalia and
Yes, yes.
No,
I mean,
Somaliland.
Somaliland.
Somalia and
Somaliland.
Somalia,
Both?
they're,
They're the
they
same?
they are
no,
no.
No,
they are
no, no,
fighting.
no, no. Yeah,
Yeah,
one
that's
of them
why
is
I'm
seceding from the
wondering.
other one.
Yeah, so maybe I was just assuming this, that Somaliland separated because they didn't want any part of the Sharia hellhole that Somalia is. So that's nothing to do with.
It's more about water act to port access and shit like that. I think it's
Not
about.
it's also about culture. You have
Check.
to keep in mind that the north of Somalia, aka Somaliland, was a British colony, and the rest was Italian and I forgot. And the guys who were
Oh,
part of the British colonies, that's the north, this is Somaliland, and they are a little bit more tend to democracy. They have a weird democracy dictatorship kind of mix with Sharia, but they are better off than the Somalis, the Somalilandis.
right. That's what yeah, I assumed, more of it, that makes sense. And also I feel like Israel doing this purely like geopolitical strategy. Like that region is really important for world, like the trade, right? The shipping lanes and the fact
Yes.
that I think Turkey has been heavily involved in Somalia. So it's a part of that counter,
Yes,
Mm.
thing.
It's
yes.
better for the West that Israel is there and hopefully America. The UAE is there on Socotra, which is an island nearby, but it is also very strategic, that island. But I mean, it's good move geopolitically. But we don't hate anyone. We want to be in peace with everyone. I mean, we don't want any war. We are happy for any country that wants to be cool with us.
Are people in Somaliland not anti-Semitic and
Freedom.
crazy Islamic? These are
I,
like really Sharia-loving Muslims that also are okay with Israel.
this is what we call in the
Interesting.
Middle East a cold peace. You don't go to this country and make friends. It's for the
My
government. It's government interests.
No,
Just like
but
Egypt. I cannot go to Egypt.
from your side, of course, it makes sense. I'm just saying, but the hatred that I'm used to in the Islamic world for Jews, it's too strong for you to strategically like if you hate Jews, you don't like, oh, it's yeah, we hate them, but this is strategic. No, like
But
this is like a red
but they
line.
don't but
So they
they
don't
don't
hate
well,
hate
you.
us. They're
But
Sunnis.
21 Arab countries are denouncing them now because of that.
Yeah, but what about their own
so
people?
They were celebrating in the streets.
They understand the economic opportunities that will come after they will be recognized as a country. It could be a leap for them.
the
They know what they
GDP per capita is less than $1,000 a year at the moment, and no one recognizes them.
That's actually
Um,
higher than I thought.
if the government wants to maintain this, they will suppress anyone that promotes the anti-Semitic verses in the Quran, and anyone that promotes the positive verses about Jews in the Quran will be elevated. If that's what they want to do in the future, then that will be
Like
great.
in Abu Dhabi. Like in Abu Dhabi.
Okay, so I asked Gemini, it says people in Somaliland see the Arab world's rejection of Israel as a luxury for countries that already have passports and borders. As a ghost state fighting for its life, Somalilanders generally feel they cannot afford to turn away the only powerful friend willing to knock on their door.
This is real life, all the time we talk about ideals and the idyllic
Exactly.
thing, but there's no ideal in the world. It's only compromise. And they get it.
This gives me a lot of hope because I think that
Me too.
like many Muslims don't have the Palestinian sickness. When it comes to living and dying, they will choose living rather than just being anti-Jewish for the sake of being anti-Jewish to the point of dying for it, right? I think only the Palestinians are this sick with Jew hatred. I think I mean, Somaliland is like a really extremely Muslim area, and if they're like, look, we have to survive. These are our friends now, I guess. So that
I
means that
mean,
this makes me hopeful for the rest of the world.
there's
It's
something
it's
to point
also
out.
amazing news for the Western world. Think about it. That you have now, if this will work, you have a secured corridor to the Red Sea all the way to Eilat.
So why Trump is not
And
accepting it then?
I don't know.
Baby is on the plane on his way to smooth the guy. I don't know.
I wanted
Oh
They
to
have
no,
a
point
whole
out.
week.
that's about attacking the Islamic Republic.
They
I
said
just
he
wanted
has
to.
a whole week in the USA and only one day, like he has one day scheduled, one day not scheduled, one day scheduled, one day not scheduled. So I guess he's I don't know,
I
window
wanted.
shopping for new ideas or
I
whatever.
mean, go figure. Maybe if Israel is putting a foot in Somaliland, maybe it can also help the Americans now who wants to deport
Of
shitload of
course.
Somalis. That maybe no, I'm just saying they want to deport shitload of
Hey,
them.
hey, don't send Ilhan Omar to Somaliland. You're friends now.
Oh
No,
my
Don't do
but
god,
this
I have
again.
to
some
check her
of them
Twitter and how she's
because
like handling this.
some of them can like say, listen, we're really refugees. They want to end our lives. All right, so go to Somaliland, fucker.
By the way, all these countries that are making peace with Israel, UAE and so on, they're all British influenced. I
Oh
think
my
that's
god,
just
I
something
love
to
the
include.
irony. I love the irony of Somalis in United States being so anti-Israeli. And then now you have a huge chunk of Somalia becoming Somaliland and being best buddies with Israel.
Is Ilhan Omar from the south? Is Omar from the south?
And
Omar is from the south.
Think about how the Palestinians feel. They're telling Israel that they want their little terror state for 20 years. They're not getting it. And Israel is coming in a second and like, hey, do you want a state? I have one in
yes,
my.
Did you see what Chikli wrote on Twitter? The minister, he wrote that he doesn't recognize Qatar. It's just a family mafia-owned business that all it does is use terrorism to scare and terrorize the world. Something like this.
Funding terrorism
Chikli is
and
the
the
voice of the people.
radicalization of the West. That's what he
Yes,
says.
he's the voice of the people, Chikli. He walks in the market and and then he writes it on Twitter.
Yeah, because the
so
Qatari denounced. So he
Yes,
said. So then he said that about Qatar.
he's right. It's just a mafia. It's just a family business. And the whole world has to, they bought parts of London. I don't know how much of New York they own. They have so much money, and I mean, wouldn't you buy stuff if you had so much money?
Yes.
okay, so I'm reading Elon Omar's view. Okay. Elon Omar's views on Somaliland secession is this is her view, illegitimate and dangerous. She sees it as a violation of Somali sovereignty
Good.
and likely views the involvement of countries like Ethiopia and Israel as predatory foreign powers taking advantage of Somalia's internal division. So they want the state for Palestine, but they don't want a state for the Somaliland people, apparently.
Yes.
That just reminded me of when I was Muslim. I think there was a point in time where there was like this utopian Islamic state happening in Somalia, according to the Muslims. But anyways,
It
oh
happened. It
yeah,
happened.
right? Because we were watching videos, and here's the thing: because of I was part of Hizb ut-Tahrir, it was like a rule that if an Islamic state pops up, we have to move there. So we were like, do we have to move to Somalia? And then I guess the Ethiopian army came and broke it up. But that just reminded me because they always say, like, see, the West is empowering Ethiopia to destroy Islam. That just,
Deborah
that
almost became
whole
a
thing.
pirate.
Yeah. But we almost, like, I thought we were going to have to move to Somalia all of a sudden. It was like wild.
Yeah,
Sorry.
there was a thing that they broke up and then they wanted to reunite again, and then they broke up at 91 and decided that
Right.
it's not working anymore, like with those people.
Okay, so
I
this
saw
is
a
mostly
very,
about Yemen. Go on, go on.
We have
kind of
interest in
related.
Ethiopia as well, you know.
There was
The,
a very interesting video in Hebrew I recommend people check with Alex Seidlin did with someone about Qatar and Saudi and why there's this old conflict between them. Apparently, it goes back almost 2,000 years. It's two tribes, basically. And the problem is that a lot of the Saudi royal family is actually the same family as the rulers of Qatar. So
Fair enough, yeah.
that the Saudi family is very afraid of the Qatari influence in Saudi. Apparently, Israel took Egypt and Saudi were about to take Qatar about 10 years ago during the Arab Spring, or maybe 15 years ago. And Israel
Good luck.
convinced America it's a bad idea for some reason, which I don't know why. But Saudi and Egypt were going to take Qatar by force.
I don't think so. They were just doing a blockade or something. Like that wasn't.
That's
They were going to take.
apparently that was reported at some point that there is such a plan. And then it was reported
Qatar has some of the most powerful American bases in there, and it's a U.S. ally.
yes,
So
I
I don't
think
think they would
the
be able to do that.
I think the Americans were going to kind of stay out of it and allow Egypt and Saudi to take it. I mean, this is what the guy said on this interview. It was very interesting. He obviously knows a lot about the region. I'm not saying everything he said was true, but it's a serious channel.
In late 2024 and early 2025. In April 2025, the Trump Organization announced a $3 billion partnership with Qatari DR, a government agency, to build a Trump International Golf Club and villas in Doha. And then we have the luxury jumbo jet, which is much more luxurious than even Trump is ever used to. Like that's the kind of a plane that Trump, even though he's a billionaire, cannot afford to have. That's how expensive that plane is. And then we have, and shortly right after that deal, Trump signed a executive order providing Qatar with a NATO-like security guarantee, vowing U.S. defense in if the nation is attacked. So not only they're not making Qatar into a pariah state, they're treating it like a NATO ally. So it's just basically the opposite of what we are asking for. Go on, enable anyone to say.
No, actually, we had a hand of, who was it?
Who?
Cat
Who was
lady.
it?
Cat lady.
Cat lady.
Yeah, it's not new all of a sudden. China has been owning half of the US for the longest time and has influence in the universities and also has foreign immigrants and for like Chinese immigrants to the US which have this law that they have to report to the government if they ask them for. It's not new. It's not new.
I mean, we didn't say it's new though. I mean, this much investment in Trump's family is new though. This much investment directly in the president is new. And also what's new is buying out like investment directly in politicians rather than investing in American industries. You're right, that is not new if you're just buying out companies. But this is like just, I mean, we never had a president in the United States where you could financially influence this directly. This is new. So yes, buying like sports teams and this company and that company and building this infrastructure and doing some partnership here and there. Yes, many countries do this in America, but just doing things that is directly economically advantageous to the president, this is the first time.